Goose, 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 goose. Goose, 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 goose.
Could I tell you my favorite Lovecraft joke?
Oh, please do.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty good. Cthulhu goes into a Starbucks, and the barista goes, okay, he just orders a coffee, and barista goes, can I get a name for the order? And Cthulhu goes, Charlie. Just put Charlie. 5 minutes later, the barista yells out, I got a medium coffee here for Cthulhu.
That's funny. Was that a John original?
I think it's just something I saw on Twitter years and years ago before it went completely bonkers and I got off the platform. I was also after that thinking about what are the best zombie jokes of all time. Okay. And the only place my head kind of came back to over and over is that single Treehouse of Horror segment where Bart and Lisa raised all the zombies up. It's just one perfect zombie joke. Just have to. Is this the end of zombie Shakespeare? And the zombies are going brains, and Homer is like, spare my family, take me, and they're kind of tapping on his head and looking into his ear, and they're just like brains. Oh,
that's a classic.
Every single one kind of perfect there. Any other good zombie jokes come to mind?
I don't have any good zombie jokes, and it's funny because you made that Starbucks joke, and I feel like it's way overdone at this point, but
sure.
Still fun. It's still fun when we mix it up.
Yeah, it was kind of thing that everybody thought was funny for a while, and then it kind of died out. But then it was just there's one more. They figured out something. It's kind of like Hawk Tuah from a couple years back.
Yeah, whatever they do, they have to add a Cthulhu expansion or something. So they're for this one, we have to have the Cthulhu one. We'll do it right at the end, just reinvigorate people to bring them back in.
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say people listening to that, they're like, you know what I miss? I miss Starbucks jokes. Whatever happened to those?
You think they're out of Hawk Tuah jokes, but then you just randomly you're scrolling through Facebook and some guy just says, I want to hawk down Tuah Electric Avenue, and you're like, one more. We got one more. Welcome to episode 14 of Cunny of the Goose, our spin-off show about gaming, horror, anime, and other nerdier fare. My name is John, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow silly goose, Eric, a.k.a. EB Games.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo. All our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube site, where our sweet little goose is still statistically the most disliked piece of long-form content on the channel. Parentheses, show your face, coward. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Enthusiastic nod from Eric there. Our mutual friend, who's going to come up a little later in the episode. Please do not let me forget when we discuss the first movie. But our mutual friend, known here as Max Fontaine, will not be joining you tonight, although we do help to get him on a future episode. So, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good.
What this is the second half of our Cunnyween horror cinema spectacular, where at the start of the spooky season, the two of us picked 4 horror films that we had mutually not seen, and additionally 4 each. One host had seen that the other had not, and over the course of this month, we are doing sort of watches and reviews of all these, including 2 live watches. Most recently, we did the first one, Tim Story's 2024, The Blackening, extremely funny movie, and a batch of with only kind of one little bit of just kind of a blighted spot on it, like a batch of just really just fun, interesting to talk about, entertaining films. And this is our effort at sort of just trying to, in the final remaining days of October, just kind of get through the remaining catalog. So let's jump right into this one. This was a movie seen by me earlier this year that I picked for you to watch. This is 28 years later by Danny Boyle. He shakes his head.
You're a bastard.
I can be.
You set me up for this.
Quick context for the film. Now, this is a direct Wikipedia lift because we've done like 200 hours of podcasting this month, and I just don't have the time for anything else. 28 years later.
No rest for you. Brains.
This is a post-apocalyptic horror film produced and directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland, a reunion of the two, for sorts. The third in the 28 Days Later film series. It stars Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jack O'Connell, Alfie Williams, and Ray Fiennes. 28 years after the second outbreak, the rage virus has now been eradicated from continental Europe, while the British Isles remained under indefinite quarantine. With most of the film itself follows the lives of a family in a civilized commune in Lindisfarne, an island defended naturally from Great Britain by causeway that floods with the tide. Among them are Jamie, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, a scavenger, his wife Isla, played by Jodie Comer, a woman who has a mentally debilitating illness, and their 12-year-old son, Spike, played by Alfie Williams. This was a pick for me for a couple different reasons, but let's kind of just get right into sort of your thoughts. How did you feel about 28 years later?
Going into this movie, I didn't know anything about it.
Sure.
Shout
out one of the best horror trailers that's just basically a World War I recording of a Rudyard Kipling poem set over just a bunch of random nonsense.
Was that the trailer? Mm-hmm. I didn't even watch the trailer. I walked into that about 20 minutes into the movie, mm-hmm. and that caught my attention. Mm. But I saw the original 28 Days Later at the movie theater with my sister way back when it came out. And even that was
2002, 2003, give or take.
I think so.
It's been a while.
Like 20 years back. It was even that movie was a pretty solid zombie film. And I remember seeing that after seeing however many like George Romero zombie flicks, and then seeing this one, it was just something different and refreshing. I really enjoyed it. It was really intense. I remember
2002, Danny Boyle, and written by Alex Garland again. So 23.
Cool. Very cool.
23 years later, here we are.
Imagine that, though. Just coming up with that, and you're like, how do we follow this?
Yeah.
Let's just sit on it for 20 years.
Yeah. There was a sequel in between, I think 28 weeks that Boyle and Garland had no direct involvement in. I think it's kind of considered a weak link. Really fun trivia. If you don't know this is completely going to blow your mind.
Okay.
People ask Garland, because that was the 2002. This is the first time you ever saw fast zombies in like a major studio horror film like that. They asked Garland, where did he get the idea? He said very simply, I'm kind of a gamer. There's this Japanese video game called Biohazard called Biohazard out there, but Resident Evil here. They got two things in the game. They got zombies. They're slow moving. They're like every other Romero zombie you've ever seen. Not that interesting. But Resident Evil, they also got these dogs. These dogs are fast as shit. They're scary as hell. And I remember playing Resident Evil just kind of back in the day and thought to myself, why don't we make the zombies as fast as these crazy dogs? And like the zombies themselves would actually. And I know for you, Resident Evil, seminal, hugely like important like video game series for you.
It's the dogs.
Yeah.
I'm sure listeners have at least tried Resident Evil or watched somebody play it, but it's always those dogs. And the thing about it is you don't expect them. They're not like hanging around like, hey, there's a stray dog and it chases you.
The first one has the best introduction of a video game enemy ever, where a dog basically you just kind of walk in. It's the best video game jump scare I've ever seen. Like the dog basically just smashes through your window, like comes out.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't expect it. There's no reason for it whatsoever. Just dogs smashing through windows. Like who comes up with that? But it catches you off guard. And the thing is while you're still trying to react, the dog's already biting you. And you're like, oh shit, I got to get out of here. I got to run. And then you awkwardly like turn around and try all the doors, and you're like, Arr. I'll be honest with you. After watching this film, I did watch a lot of reviews about it, partly to kind of understand what I was missing, because I knew there was just so much content.
Right.
But just that world was so interesting to me. I'm like, I want to know more. And it's funny the simple things that I just kind of glazed over, didn't catch, and just having my mind blown again afterwards.
So, like a little bit of context for like the making of the film itself. It's actually the first of a trilogy. This one directed by Boyle. The next one coming out, I believe, in January, directed by Nia DaCosta, and I think that the third film is pending, but I think kind of pretty much confirmed and locked down at this point. 20 years, pretty good. Very good critical success. People really enjoyed it, and pretty profitable as well. I think it pulled in something like 150 million on a 60 million or on a $60 million budget.
Exactly. I mean, I think it was a pretty good turnout for them. I know though, I was reading because I'm like, is that enough? Usually, there's all those additional things they have to.
The marketing and just whatever other voodoo economics are.
All the extra hidden, all extra costs that we're not like, it's all behind the scenes. But that's why I'm like, is this enough to like propel it to get like, a better sequel or more reception for the sequel, and then get a third one? And I did hear if they do a third one in the trilogy, it's all going to be about Cillian Murphy. They're going to bring him back, and
I think he apparently, the reporting says he has a small part in the second film, and I think he's going to be like the primary protagonist in the third one.
I'm hoping he shows up as like an alpha or something.
Right. just swaying in the wind.
He's like, remember that doctor from the first part of the trilogy? That was me, silly. Ray Fiennes? Call me Jim.
Still my favorite coffee talk joke of all time. Ray Fiennes' name is neither Rafe nor Fiennes. Discuss. Anyway, so kind of going into these things, it's an extremely interestingly structured film, because you go in and you don't really kind of realize, but like the main character of 20 years later is the 12-year-old boy Spike, and the film basically kind of follows 3 acts. The first is about it's about Spike and his relationship with his father, Jamie. The middle part is about Spike and his relationship with his mother, Isla. And then basically Ralph Fiennes appears in the third act as this doctor that's sort of been living out in like the British wilderness, basically in seclusion, inside his very, very sweet bone temples. We've gone from Bone Lake to Bone Temple. I think it's
I needed a drumming scene. I needed him a full drum set made of like all the bones, and he's got 2 femurs. He's like dun 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 dun.
There should have at least been like a wishbone thing or something like that, But so in like the third one is basically about Spike and his relationship with this Ray Fiennes, like this doctor character that sort of kind of basically steps in as you don't think he's going to be a good guy at first, because he basically sort of shows up in kind of rubber overalls, entirely painted orange. You're like, oh, this is going to be another like Voldemort, just Red Dragon adjacent, just like
he was tapping a little into that energy.
Yeah. But he ends up, sort of like basically just being a surrogate grandfather to Spike. That's it. And it's well, we can kind of get into it like a little bit.
We'll get into it.
Let's talk.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
I called you a bastard earlier.
Sure.
Because the first 10 minutes, I'm not sure I was really in it. Like, it just seemed a little off to me. It starts out with, just to kind of set the scene for people, all these like, bright bleached blonde haired kids in a room watching Teletubbies.
Yes.
And one of the parents bursts in and says, I think it's the kid named Jimmy. His mom bursts in. She's like, okay, you guys, you got to stay here. Try to keep quiet. We're going to lock the door. You should be safe. And then just you hear this crazy zombie attack going on outside the room, and all the kids are kind of like getting nervous. And what's going to happen? I don't know. And then the door bursts open, and the zombies come in and just start killing all the kids.
Right.
Jimmy manages to escape, and you find out his dad is, I guess, a priest.
Right.
And he basically
kind of managed to run down the street to like this church where his father, it turns out, is actually just praying at, thinking like the apocalypse has actually like arrived, and like that, that kind of intro scene basically kind of starts with his father kind of shoving like the kid down into a basement just before like the rage zombies overrun the church.
the dad, in the way the dad's talking to it, almost sounds like he's just lost his mind at this point.
Right.
And he's just like, all right. He's like, this is not the end. This is the beginning. And, this is the
Apocalyptic
next
kind of religious
kind of thing where he just reaches his arms up. Zombies burst through the church doors and just start eating them alive.
Right. And
the best part about this movie, not just the fact that the zombies are fast, that people change into zombies really fast. That was a key thing in the first one. Is as soon as you get
the kind of thing where you bury them, and then they sort of crawl out of graves. Like it's an instantaneous.
Yeah. And you can tell somebody's been changed because they just start like vomiting blood.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting to watch. You're like, oh my God, okay, did they get bit? People just start vomiting blood, and you're like, okay, get the fuck out of there.
The movie has a pace and it just like a very nasty, very very visual, like sort of visceral, kind of like bloody, like a sort of kind of thematic, sort of like a just kind of quality to like the horror elements of this thing.
Yeah, but again, something like that really sets the tone for what you have to expect with these zombies.
Right.
Not the film. Like, they're vicious, they're fast, they're merciless. They will bite you. You will be, changed instantly.
Right.
And I mean, you just got to run.
It does, that intro segment, I think, does like a very good job of just kind of because this is a movie that very very minimally kind of calls back to like the previous two, but because you have that scene at the start, you kind of immediately what the threat is, what the rules are surrounding that threat.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I think the thing that caught me off guard was when all this is happening, the dad's getting eaten. You see him puking blood, and the son's kind of hiding in the little cabinet or whatever it is. He has his dad's cross, because the dad gave him this cross to hold on to. And then they start playing this music. I can't describe it. All I wrote down was Lion King theme song. Because it sounds so like cheerful, and I mean, it's like and I'm like, oh, this is going to be such an awful movie. Why did John choose this one for me?
Right.
And then it cuts into like, fast forward 28 years later.
Right.
And this is where the movie really starts. And from that point on, I'll say this, it was such a perfect movie. I loved this movie because what they do is they tell you, there's so much that happens, and they give you so much information in such a short amount of time that you just feel it's something bigger. Like there's something more there. And as soon as maybe early on, like 15, 20 minutes in, I'm watching it. I'm like, is this, and I didn't know about this. I'm like, okay, I know there's Bone Tower coming up next year, but I'm like, this should be a trilogy. This almost feels like Lord of the Rings or something to me.
It's doing it very very effectively, but it paints like this little commune on the island. It sets up everything so quickly, who these people are, what their lives are like, how they kind of live and think, like it sets up like the logistical aspects of just kind of basically they're kind of on like they kind of have like a moat protecting themselves from zombies on the mainland, but there's a big wall built around the entire commune. They've got like a ballistas pointed out the causeway. You can kind of see, they've got like the timing of like how the tides come in and out and everything like that sort of figured out. So this film itself, it leads in with basically there is a coming of age ceremony that I guess sort of young boys that are trained as hunters have to do with their fathers once they actually kind of hit like a certain age. And this starts out with Jamie, who is a very kind of talented sort of fighter and soldier and hunter, taking his son out to the mainland for the first time. I think it doesn't really. I don't remember if it really establishes what the purpose is, whether there's something that they're looking for or it's just reconnaissance work or whatever else. But it sort of leads with, okay, this is this young boy kind of taking like his first steps like out into like the bigger world.
That's what it is. It's kind of like, and they even say in the movie when he goes to the gate to be let out with his father, the woman that's kind of in charge there looks at Spike and she tells Jamie, she's like, he's 12 years old. Usually we don't do this until they're 14 or 15.
Right.
And you can tell that they've got comfortable enough at this point, and they've done this so many times
Mhm.
that they're just more open now to maybe bringing people out earlier. And Jamie's like, we've done this before. I think Jamie's ready. He seems mature enough. Let's just give him a chance.
There also is the kind of like this standing tension of this of Jamie kind of being this lad, kind of being like this alpha kind of type dude, in sort of contrast to son Spike, who is just a pretty sensitive, gentle kid. You just like it's immediately get look, this is one of these depictions of like a father who is a fighter trying to bring up his son who was very much definitely like not that.
Yeah.
And then through like the background of that, you basically have Isla, the mother, kind of just lying in the bed in their home, having hallucinations, screaming randomly, just being very, very, very kind of sweaty, very sick looking. Spike, like through particularly like the first part, it's like the dad kind of seems sort of either overwhelmed or just kind of checked out the entire thing, and it's a parental dynamic that you can immediately tell. Okay, Spike is just kind of caught between the two of them at this point in his life.
Yeah, and then I had to write this down. I didn't even realize that there was a shout out for Cunny Ween, also known as Cuntober. Did you catch that one? So
okay.
What Jamie does, right? He's just like, Isla, I'm going to be taking the boy out. We're going to go, and he's going to go to the mainland, and we're going to go hunt zombies.
Right.
And she's like, no, you're not taking my boy. Cunt. Cunt.
Yes.
Cuntober.
Screaming cunt at him as he's leaving the house. Jodie Comer, confirmed fan of the spinoff pod.
Yeah, there's an interview after.
She was almost the Invisible Woman. I think it literally came after her and Vanessa Kirby.
Did you catch the little small scene where Spike is leaving the home and he actually leaves a Power Ranger toy behind?
Yeah.
I saw that. I was just like, oh, sweet. Mm-hmm. That's something fun.
Like the metaphor there was like a little bit on the nose of him literally leaving his childhood behind. But there you go.
Yeah. But I mean, it also helps people like you or I maybe kind of relate to it, or people maybe a little younger than us that grew up with Power Rangers. Like, that's the thing you notice about this commune too. It's kind of like a ramshackle place made up of.
It's made up of the detritus and the leftovers. Well, you have to think, because this is 28 years later. This, that Spike was born 16 years basically into sort of zombie world. So the only context that they have of what the original world was like is just kind of is from like these leftovers.
It's insane. It's the British Isles. They're quarantined in the British Isles, so the outside world, everybody's still going on.
Still pretty normal, like pretty much. I mean, like Boyle has said openly, he's like, this movie, the core themes, it's really coming from two things. It's coming from the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's coming from Brexit. I mean, that both very, very large looming things in my head the entire time. And more generally, he also talks about like a society that is in like the middle of what he refers to as regressism, where it's basically, it's kind of it's a word sort of like applied to cultures that are kind of going backwards in some kind of way. They're becoming less modern, they're becoming less sophisticated, they're becoming less informed, which is just kind of made very literal for this version. Yeah.
It's bow and arrow. That's what Jamie and Spike are doing. They're going out on the causeway to go to the mainland with bow and arrow.
Right.
I mean, like, was this Hawkeye?
Well, I mean,
Hawkeye and Hawklad.
The thing I wanted to, so like a little bit from my experience with the movie, like I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was really kind of uneven, and I think the thing that I bounced on the first time was there is so much story, like in this thing. And you kind of go in and you don't know that it has this 3-part structure. Did you think when like the two of them kind of like, just left the commune, you're like, okay, we're not going to see the commune again until like the end of the movie. This is going to be like
I didn't think they were going to make it back.
Yeah, 100%.
As soon as they were trapped in, I mean, we'll talk about it later on, but they get trapped at one point on the mainland, and I'm like, that's it. They're stuck here. And then we're going to see Jamie get killed, and Spike's
Spike
gonna kind of
is
grow up on his own and-
it's gonna be hero's journey, kind of coming of age by himself, like out in the wilderness.
Yep.
And it's going to be like, okay, this is going to be, he fights his way back to the commune like over like the next hour and a half or something.
Yeah, what they do, I did not expect, and I appreciated so much.
So this movie was like a little uneven for me, but like I think like the longer I've stuck with it, I feel like if I watched this again, I would probably really like it like a lot more than I actually did. But I wanted to. Part of the reason I wanted to kind of bring it to you is I know that you're a bigger fan than I am of kind of just kind of post-apocalyptic zombie storytelling. You were
Dumb zombie shit.
Yeah. You followed like The Walking Dead for years and years, but what I also kind of was kind of curious to hear about is just what your read on this movie is as a parent, and like particularly like as like a father of boys. Like, I was kind of curious to see, because I don't have that context and that connection. I just wanted to just kind of hear like what your read was from just kind of like that side of the movie, because this is a film about two things at the end of the day. It's a film about memory, and it's a film about parenting.
Yeah. Again, if I was in that kind of situation, I would not be comfortable with it, but adjusting to your new environment, navigating your new environment, you have to coexist with these zombies to some extent. If they come at you, you got to shoot them, you got to kill them, and you can't feel remorse for them, even if it's, zombie children.
Right.
It's just how it is, because it's either you or them. And so, I guess a better comparison would be like, if I had to take my son out to do driving, right? He turned 16, he gets his permit, and now we got to start practicing driving. It's one of those things where there's consequences.
Yes.
And as a parent, that's all you think about the entire time you're in that car.
Yeah.
And same for this. You're bringing your son to the mainland, and you're like, he's survived this
Everything
long.
could go wrong all at once.
That's the biggest fear as a parent you have, is just, you should be thankful for every second that you get with your children, because for whatever, it could be, you did nothing wrong. It's just a fluke, random occurrence that just happens to take out your kid or yourself or something. Anything can happen at any point. So you can't just kind of, hold them back forever. At some point, you just have to move on with your life, and you just have to help, bring them into that environment the best way you can.
Yeah. It's sort of extremely well put. We're kind of coming up on like time for this movie. That this is a film we could probably do like an hour, like 2 hours on. But I did want to kind of drop one little exciting tidbit for you.
Okay.
Our certain mutual friend who was living and working in the United Kingdom for like a little bit. I just found out this out the other day. He was actually very, very near to the area where they were filming 28 Years Later. Whoa. And he actually got a casting invite to come be in the movie as an extra, and not just even as like a villager, as one of the fucking turbo zombies.
Shut up.
No. Yeah,
really?
No lie.
I mean, he is kind of tall, so. But
do you think they're going to make him an alpha?
I don't know. Maybe if they do like a live action Attack on Titan TV series for Netflix, I'll get the call. I thought you were going to say he got called in as Eric, the Swedish Navy, the Navy guy. I was like, oh man, he doesn't speak Swedish, but that would be sweet.
Just him as one of the alpha zombies. Yeah, just make sure you get the good side of my zombie hog. But again, this is kind of like this is a film in 3 parts, and then has one of the craziest. It should be a post-credit scenes, but it sort of ends on a cliffhanger for like the next movie that features like the little boy Jimmy from the first film, who is now kind of grown up, and is played by Irish actor Jack O'Connell, who you may also remember as the head Irish vampire from Sinners this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
Nice. one of the best Letterboxd reviews I saw for like 28 years later was if I had a nickel for every 2025 horror movie that had Jack O'Connell and a pussy eating scene, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it still kind of seems like a lot. I don't know.
Do we want to talk a little about what happened in this film? I think we should do it. I think.
Okay, let's like lightning round or like any particular shout outs that you want.
Because you had a mixed take of it. I just want people to know, again, the coming of age part of it at the very beginning with Jamie and Spike, they go to the mainland. I love the causeway. I don't know if it must really exist. I hope it exists.
I believe so, yes.
It's such an awesome idea where they're like, okay, the people that are at the town the commune tell them, they're like, look, you have to be back by a certain time, otherwise it's going to be high tide and there's no way you can make it back until the following day.
Right.
So we're going to assume that you're going to be staying there.
What an excellent natural way to kind of put a clock, like a ticking clock, like the just in like the first sort of scenario like these two kind of find themselves.
Yeah. So they go across the causeway. Jamie, there's a couple of those like slow, like limbering zombies kind of drag themselves along. Jamie's, telling his son, he's like, all right, let's pick one off. So just try to aim for like its neck because they have really thick hides. So Spike shoots the arrow, hits it in the neck. He's just like, great job. And all of a sudden, another one comes up behind Jamie. He turns around, quickly kills it. They see a smaller one that maybe it's their child. You don't even know, but it's maybe the zombie is like maybe 6 or 7. And then Spike's like, no, don't shoot it. And then they let it go. They end up staying on the island, doing a little more, or the mainland, doing a little more hunting. They come across an alpha, these fast bastards that command.
About 7.5 feet long. About 7.5 feet long. Wow.
I heard about that prosthetic cocks in this. I did hear that. There's a scene where they have this alpha called Samson, and I think the actor is 6'8", but they said there's a full-on shot of his hog, and it's much bigger than it really should be. They did confirm that it was fake, so it's not a real one. But I heard women were like,
being the prop master on this movie.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? I might swing if I had a little too much to drink. I might swing zombie.
Imagine getting that email, just okay.
But they do something.
Then Diego from Bone Lake shows up, and he's just
no,
like, I don't feel comfortable with those.
Yeah, I know. I saw it, and it just makes me feel weird. Yeah. My little prince has kind of lost his magic. Jacuzzi time. Right. So, yeah, they encounter an alpha. They get stuck in this house.
Right.
Overnight, they see Spike notices this fire in the distance, and he's like, "What's that?" Jimmy's like, "Ignore it." They end up escaping the next day, making it way back to the causeway, although they're being pursued by.
There's a truly terrifying shot of like the alpha basically kind of standing on top of a hill, and Jamie realizes like, yeah, he's watching for us. He's basically going to be.
You see, he has that murder of crows that he just sicks on them, where they just kind of. I don't know what he's doing, if he's like actually sending them towards him, but it's like there's something up with the animals in this film, which I think they're going to explain later on. But I feel like the alpha has some kind of mental command of, because you see at one scene there's just like a ton of deer, just kind of like they just burst into like the scene, which is totally unexpected. Or there's a scene where there's rats.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I even kind of clocked that on my watch. That
it happens a few times where animals just kind of show up, hordes of animals just kind of running, like they're running from something or at something you don't know. And I noticed this with the crows. It's kind of like the alpha summons the crows. They kind of shoot towards like Jamie and Spike, and they almost made it back to the commune. Right. And they just get knocked over, and that's when the alpha just runs up the causeway towards them.
Right. Basically, the entire thing sort of shot at night. Brilliant cinematography, such stark colors, like the way that the stars are kind of shining off like the causeway, and you don't even see you don't really even kind of see the alpha except like in sort of silhouette, and and the the way everything is ratcheted, it's ratcheted up. Like, you know, they're you know, Jamie and Spike are kind of running down the causeway. You can hear like the villagers kind of screaming for them to kind of go as quickly as possible, and like the thing sort of lumbering up behind them. You know, in the situation, you know, if he reaches them, it's not going to be a fight. They're both immediately dead. They both immediately have to kind of get burned.
They're going to drown or something.
Yeah.
The current's strong around there. Just to skim though, to kind of give people a flavor of what this movie's about.
Right.
That's pretty much Act 1. They end up, the guards end up shooting down the alpha zombie. Right. Spike and his dad make it back. They celebrate. Spike, they have a party for Spike because, you know, he killed his first zombie and he survived an alpha.
Dad, again, just very fucking like British lad, alpha male is just making up bullshit.
My boy.
Completely checked out of the fact that, you know, just his son is traumatized still.
Gives his son a beer. He's also, the dad is hooking up with some girl he's been hooking up with for a while because I guess he's given up with the mom at this point.
The school teacher that I believe.
Oh, school teacher. Oh, really? Wow, didn't catch that one.
So Spike is just kind of stumbling around, kind of miserable. You know, he sees his dad eating out like the school teacher. He just gets completely fucked up and disillusioned over that. And then the start of the second act is like, well, my dad's an asshole. My mom is dying. There's a doctor on the mainland. I survived the zombie thing once.
Yeah.
And they, you know, we don't have time to kind of go into like everything else in here, but like Act 2 literally kicks off with him taking
about the source of the fire. What's at the source of the fire? He finds out that that's where the doctor is. He doesn't know what kind of doctor he is,
right? Or whether this doctor is insane because of, you know, his reputation in the village. As people saw him kind of stacking up bodies at one point. So nobody really kind of knows what's going on with that. So like the second part kicks off with Spike getting into an argument with his dad. His dad being like, yeah, just Spike going like, you don't even care about mom. You're there and you're chewing on that other lady's cunt. And then
your mom was right. You're a cunt boy. get off this island.
Oh, and you know, like the second act starts with you know, Spike just kind of taking his mom and going back to the zombie mainland. Yeah. And like the reality of like they got a good 6, maybe 7 minutes before.
That's so like kids though. When, you know, I'm assuming same thing with like teaching them how to drive. They go do it a couple times and they're like, yeah, I'm good on my own. I can go drive my buddies to the mall or something. Like I'm ready for this. So young. I keep in mind he's 12, not 14 or 15, 12. Yeah. But yeah, that's Act 2. He goes back with his mom to the island. They find the doctor.
Right.
I love.
Let's kind of keep this for like surprise for like the listeners itself.
Yeah.
Recommended movie. I gave it a 35 because I thought it was my first pass. It's a little uneven. That's the biggest star ever because I think if I rewatch this, it's going to be like a 40 plus for me.
I gave this a 49.
You're going to 49.
I would not 50 it because I want to see what's to come. But I picked 49 because it blew me away. This was not what I would expect for a horror film, but what they're attempting to do, I thought was solid.
The range and ambition of this thing is
exactly
absolutely impossible.
But as they keep talking about the Bone Tower or Bone Temple or whatever they call it in this sequel,
right?
That was the highlight for me of this film. I'm like, I gotta see it. I know it's there. And when they introduce it and what it represents,
right,
everything that happens around that discovery,
right,
that was it.
Memento mori, memento a mori. Remember that you must die. Remember that you must love. Just a really incredible way to sort of bring everything together.
Such a beautiful thing you would never expect in this kind of film. So,
all right,
49.
I recommend.